So thank you so much for joining this webinar. This is our last webinar of 2020. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas and look forward to meet all of you at our annual party this evening, which starts at 7. This is going to be a event on a new virtual platform, which would make it more interesting to join and have a conversation with each other, get to meet each other face to face, because all of us have been looking at this specific community as a kind of community of professionals who have been friends with each other since almost a year and a half now. So that is where all of you wanted to have a event where you can converse personally, but because of Corona, it wasn't possible. And looking at the current situation, I don't find that in next 3 to 4 months as well, with the new strains of Corona coming out, probably we may not be able to have any meeting which would be a face-to-face meeting. And that is where I thought of this platform. Was trying to get it, and then finally we could get this platform, and this is a good event wherein all of us can meet each other face to face, have a conversation in a kind of annual party kind of environment. So we look forward to meet you at 7 p.m. However, continuing the tradition, we will continue with our webinar, uh, which is on how to use bulk message for using emails and WhatsApp. So we have Rishi Gangoly with us. Rishi has been a thought leader in digital marketing, and then he owns a company by the name of Web Dudes. They do a lot of interesting things, and Rishi has delivered various talks in various forums. This is going to be his third talk. So since last 2 months, he has been delivering one talk each, and this is the third talk in that series wherein he is encouraging all of us with the various tools he is using to achieve his marketing activities. So this is where we have Rishi with us. Thanks, Rishi, for joining us and uh, sharing your wisdom and skills with us. We look forward for this as well as other was as well as other events from you in the time to come, and we would like to continue the engagement and then learn from you and friends of yours as well now. So thank you so much, and I welcome you, and the floor is yours. Welcome, Rishi.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see all of you guys here. And I guess we'll just get started. I'm going to just share my screen. Quick check on audio. Am I clear? Am I audible to everybody? You can just type in the chat.
Yeah, you
Say
are.
yes. Yeah. Okay, great. Fabulous. So I'm going to turn on my screen sharing. And hopefully you guys can see my slides. Okay. So in case somebody can't see my slides, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just get started. So I've just, I will be doing a presentation first and using my slides. And then after that, I'll be getting into a bit of a demo, and then we'll handle questions. Some part of it we'll not be able to include in the recording. Chintan, I'll let you know at what point you can stop the recording. And then you can turn the recording back on afterwards if you like. All right. So bulk messaging. Okay. One of the things I've noticed is that by keeping in touch with my customers, I do get business. Okay? It does help. Of course, I don't want to, spam my audience, my customer. I want them only to receive the messages that they want to stay. So I always give the option for them to stay or not stay on the group. So we'll get back into that. But primarily, I think there are experiences of mine where I have had somebody on my email list for 5 years, and after 5 years, they've converted it to a customer. So, I think it's a very important part in today's digital world to keep in touch with customers and delivering some information of value to them. So let's dive into this. Like I mentioned, I don't like to thrust upon any information to a prospect or a client of mine that they may not want to be receiving from me. So I always give them the option to either opt in and then also option to opt out, right? So sometimes people think they're interested in what I'm talking about, but later on maybe they're not interested. So this is always something very, very important that you should do when you are sending bulk messages to your prospects and clients. Don't just keep sending messages without giving them this option to opt in and opt out. And if you think about it, right, why would you want to send a message to somebody who's not interested in what you have to say or what you have to offer? It's a waste of time, energy, and sometimes money also. So I think it's important to focus on the quality of a database rather than the quantity. Right? Quantity is not as important as quality, especially when it comes to bulk messaging. So because I keep my databases pretty high quality and small, my open rates are pretty good. If you Google what is the open rate of any bulk email message, you'll see it will be anywhere between 11 to 12%, maybe 14%. That's the averages. But because I keep removing people that are not opening my messages, maybe my mails are not reaching them. Maybe they're going into some promotion folder. Maybe they're going to spam folder. But there are some people who are regularly opening my mail. So that's why my open rate is very, very high. And that's why I keep my quality of my audience very, very focused. I'm not interested in putting quantity at all, right? This is one thing I tell my customers whenever I get calls when they say, "Oh, you do email marketing. Do you also provide a database?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't provide databases because it's not about the databases. If you want a database, go advertise. There are ways you can pay and get databases by advertising and getting people to opt in. Like I mentioned, let them choose to get something that they're interested in. And there are many ways to do that, and I'll tell you how to do that. But don't buy databases. You don't know who they are. Even if you've got a database, how did you get that database? How did you connect with that? Sometimes you might go to a physical event and there's a networking event and you got access to people's data. So you can say that, look, we were in this same event, we were at this exhibition, and then you introduce yourself like that. But don't buy databases and send email to them or WhatsApp to them. I think it's crazy to do that. So I'm sure many of you might be wondering then how to build a database. Okay, and so let's get into some discussions. Of course, in my last time's program, we talked about lead generation using LinkedIn and Facebook, right? In LinkedIn, we talked about how you can find the exact target group that you have and connect with them. And if they connect with you, then you can send them email and ask them if they would like to continue to receive email from them. And Facebook, of course, advertising is cheap, so you can go and use Facebook advertising to get ads, get names and email addresses and phone numbers from there itself, right? Usually, if you want to focus on the quality, just as a summary for those of you that missed the last time's program, in the advertising lead generation form, ask a question to filter the quality. Like ask them why they want to get this particular thing that you're offering them. And if they should answer something instead of that, they say yes or something like that, then you know they are not really even reading your question. So get quality databases is important. So this is the last program we discussed how to create databases. If you have missed that, the video recording is there. You can just get in touch with Chintan to find this webinar, which is the last one, and watch it, and then come back to this video if you like, if you're watching a recording that is. There are many free ways to generate databases, and that is what I'm going to be talking about, how to generate databases which are free. Okay, so first one is, of course, you can do something like what I'm doing right now with Chintan, right? Do a webinar, do an online meeting, get invited to places. My name was recommended by Dharmendra to Chintan. Chintan was saying, do you know any good people who can talk of some topics. So if you are a speaker at events, you can do events, do that. Talk about your products, talk about your services, talk about some valuable information and give it to people. So in the case of this the talk right now, I have access to all of you. You have access to me. You all have seen what I'm delivering, what value I'm delivering. And if you think there's value, you'll want to opt in to find out what else does Rishi talk about. So webinars, and earlier to seminars, I used to do a lot of them for free, but nothing is free. When you give something for free, you get the name and email in exchange for that. So there is always a value associated with that. So this is one way to build a good quality database. You build only a database of people who are interested in what you have to talk about. I know Chintan's database is huge, but only the people who are here today are the ones, or who have registered for the program, are the ones that I'm going to connect with, not Chintan's entire database. And I don't want to also connect to entire Chintan's database. I only want to connect to you guys who are sitting here watching this. That's it. So this is one way to do it. Another thing is you can give an ebook, right? Maybe you've got some very interesting information. It depends, whatever field you might be in. There might be some valuable information that you can share, which some people will look at it and say, yes, I can do something with this information. And you can compile that in an ebook and say, post a message on Facebook or LinkedIn and say, look, I'm offering this ebook for free. Just send me an email on this email address, or put your email address in the comment below, and I will send it to you. So you can build an email address database like that. Of course, give them the option to unsubscribe once they're in your database. That is very, very important. I'll touch upon it again. This is another way to do it is to do regular free workshops. Like I do two types of workshops. I do like an intro workshop, and a lot of people want to do that. These are pre-recorded workshops, and I offer that for free. In fact, I even mentioned it in one of the previous programs of Chintan's webinar here, Zero Inbox. So I have already created a small workshop on how to make sure your inbox can come down to zero with absolutely no messages by the end of the day. By the time you sleep, all your messages will be done with. A lot of people say like it's impossible to do that, but it is possible to do it. You can watch that video and learn how to do it. It's not very long. It's like a 15-minute course. But in that 15 minutes, you have to practice those techniques which I have offered. And you can definitely do it. You can have 20,000 emails. You can have 2 lakh emails. You can all bring it down. There are ways to get it down. And you can keep it at 0 mails. At the end of the day, you'll have a few messages, but then it'll go. So offer some valuable course. Now, this is a technical thing. A lot of people commented on that course saying that we never knew that such features existed in our email system. And they found it super valuable. So offer a course which is for free, and you can give it to them. You can put it on YouTube if you want. But the only way they can access that course is if they give you the email address for free. So you can build a database like that. You can give away free software. This is very interesting. Dharmendra Rai, who's given a talk here also at Chintan's programs, the software, mind map software, they have a free version and they have a paid version, right? Now, whenever the new version would come up, there would be some new features in that. Now, if you go to the mind map website, right, whatever the website is, and you browse around, you'll find free software download. You can download it for free. Now, most people don't know which website to go to for that. They don't even use Google to find that. But they are connected to, say, Dharmendra Rai. And he just posted a question. Would you like a free version of the software, mind mapping software, version so-and-so, which has these additional features? If yes, send me your email or email me on this email address. And people would then email and say, I want the free software, I want the free software. And he would have the link ready. He says, here's the link. It's not even on his website. It's on the other mind mapping website. He says, click here and go to this website for free. Now he's got their email address because they wanted this free software for maybe their kid. They wanted to do some mind mapping or something. So you can offer not just your software, but even somebody else's software. If you know that it's a valuable software and people will like it, you can offer free software for free in exchange for people's email address. This is another clever way to build an email database. And social media is there. You can just post it there. Once a week, you can keep posting it back there and slowly, slowly, slowly build your email database. All right, so these are some of the free ways you can build a database, but there are two important points you should remember. Is number one, don't go broke. So don't offer, like I said, ebook is free. That's fine. You maybe spend a little bit of money to create that ebook. Maybe you hired a content writer to embellish it and make it look good. Maybe a designer to make it look nice. But it should not cost you so much money that you go broke. Right? Don't give free iPads, for example. Right? This is always one example that happens. And make sure the quality is good. You don't want to give crap, because if you give crap away for free, you'll get a crap audience. The audience will hate you. They'll think you're some time pass waste. You just wasted my time downloading a stupid ebook which delivered no value. So make sure it's good quality is good, and make sure you don't get broke in the process. Don't give physical books, because physical books you have to actually ship apart from the cost of the book itself. Ebook, once it's created, you might spend 10,000 books to create the ebook, but once it's created, nice 50-page, 100-page ebook, give it away for free. Distribution is zero cost, virtually zero. Just the internet. Put it up on a Google Drive and distribute it in exchange for people's email addresses. Great. Now, another question that people ask is, I don't want to spam people. So, is there a good amount? Like, how many mails should we send every month? Should we send 1 email a month, 2 emails a month, 3 emails a month? So there is no fixed number, but whenever you're delivering an email to your customer, make sure it's high value, okay? And if you maintain the value of the information, then even if you send up to 4 or maybe even 8 messages in a month, it's perfectly fine. People must see that, hey, this is good. And many times people write to me, they say, Rishi, I've been on your list for about 2 years now. I really like the way you write emails. It's to the point, fast. I like what it is. I don't have to waste time reading your mails. I can just quickly understand what you're sharing with us. And if I think sometimes there are lots of good stuff you said, I go check it out. I click the link that you sent us. We check it out. But sometimes we just delete it, because very fast I get to know how to. And I'll be discussing how to send emails also, what kind of emails to send. So I think 4 to 8 emails, four mails a month is like 1 mail a week, and 8 is about 2 emails a week. I don't think you should go beyond 8 mails in a month, unless there is something super valuable that you have to say on a daily basis to your audience. Yeah. All right, let's talk about spam. Now, spam is is an area where there are 2 aspects to it, right? Now, one is that you might be composing emails that has got a lot of words like buy my offer and special offer and all of that stuff, or free in the subject line if you write. So these type of things are detected as a possible spam. So there are many softwares that today will put your mail in as spam because of the words that are being used in the spam messages. But sometimes your messages could be not spammy at all, but still end up in person's spam folder. Why is that? Why did that happen? Because spam is something that is controlled and configured by each user. Like if I think receiving emails from a shopping website, which always is displaying gadgets, it will probably land in my inbox, because in case it did land in my spam folder, I would have marked it as not spam. So I am training my mailbox what is spam according to me and what is not spam according to me. So an electronics shopping offers will come from Redmi or some Samsung or something, and it will come in my inbox. While for other people, it might land up in the promotion or spam folder. So depends on how you have configured your email, your messages may end up in spam or not. Second criteria could be that the server that you're using is always getting blacklisted. The email server itself is getting blacklisted. So that could be another reason why the mails are going to spam. So the solution is to find another better server which does not get blacklisted, right? So there are multiple factors to why a message goes into spam or not. So let's take a look at some of the things you can do. You can't get 100% solution on this one, but you can use something, and I'll show you what that is. You can go to this website called mail-tester.com. And when you go to this website, mail-tester.com, they will give you a random email address, which you can then just copy. You can see here, test the spamminess of your emails. First, send your email to this email address. Now, this email address will keep changing every time you go to the website. So you copy this email address, go to your email campaign software, send it only to this email address, not your entire database. Just send it to this address. Once you click on send, wait about 10 seconds, and then click this button that says, then check your score. This blue color button. And when you click on then check your score, depending on how spammy it is, it will tell you what your score is. So I gun for 10 out of 10. Now, sometimes it is not possible. So I get a 9.5 out of 10 or 9 or 8.5. So if you get 8 out of 10 is good. There's a good chance a lot of emails will get delivered to the primary tab. But again, not 100%. Some may have trained their mailbox to push your type of mails into spam. So if you look at the message below this 10 out of 10, there is a scoring system which will tell you why your message, suppose you get a very low score like 6 on 10 or 4 on 10, why is it losing out points on spamminess, right? If you click on the blue color plus buttons of each section, it will tell you what is wrong with your mail or server or whatever the problem is. And then you got to go, either it's technical in nature and you go to an expert, maybe you can contact us. We can help you to understand why your message is spam, and we can even probably give you a solution to lower that spam score and get your mailboxes higher delivery into the primary tab, into the inbox itself. Great. Here's some golden rules about sending sending email. First, try and send plain text. I do send graphics sometimes, but if you can send plain text, it is great. This is one way of getting people to, first of all, it also contributes to the fact that it lands in the primary mailbox. If you write dear and then the personalized, so that's the personalized is very important. Dear and first name, and then you write your message. There's a higher chance of that Google or whatever email system will think that this is a one-on-one mail communication, so therefore put it in the primary folder. So plain text and personalizing is very important, and keeping it short, because if you keep your message short, people will read it, right? So by keeping it short, you have to also explain really in very fast ways what it is that your email is, and if they want, click the link for more information, right? So give them a link to click and then go to that particular website or web page or landing page that you've created, which is whatever it is that you're promoting or talking about. Ideally, your mail should be able to be processed within 3 to 5 seconds. That's how short people's attention span is. In 3 to 5 seconds, if the person has not understood what you're talking about, they look at it and say, "Arey baap re, ye kitna lamba hai, ye forget it, main baad mein dekhta." They don't read it. They skip it and they never come back to it. Okay? So these are my golden rules. I don't know if you have your own, you can add them, but this is what works for me, right? And now when you're writing a message, these are the 3 things to remember, okay? First of all, what is it that you're offering them? A lot of people, they just want to tell you, this is my stuff, buy it. You know, you should be offering people, if you just want people to buy your stuff and they don't see any benefit in that, you must always say, look, I'm offering this to you. This is the benefit, and click here to do something. Offer, benefit, call to action is like very, very important. Whenever you write an email, first look at these 3 points. What is my offer? What is the benefit in it? Is it clear? And where is the call to action? Do I have to reply to this email? So if they have to reply to this email, ask them a question. That could be a call to action. Just ask them a question. Or are they supposed to click and register somewhere? Then provide the link. Say, register on the link below, or register the link for more details. Maybe not even to click the link below for more details, right? So call to actions can be a reply to the email or a link to go somewhere and do some activity. Now, the benefit statement, although I put it as point number 2 in the message, it should ideally be the subject also, because it's in the benefit. If I tell you about how cool my product is, that doesn't matter to them. How my cool features of my product will benefit you is all people give a shit about. They only care about that. They are not interested in how cool your product is or it has 25 features. You know, I will do this for you, that for you. Okay, fine, you do this for you, but if you do that, what will happen for me if I do that? How will I Even if it's a course I'm selling them, how will the course transform them, their life? What new thing they will be able to do out of that, which will change their life, which will benefit their life? That is the key thing. And there's always this, I tell people, I said, okay, give me your product or service benefits. And they write back to me and say, Rishi, these are our benefits. And they give me the features. I said, I'm not asking you for the features. These features will give some benefit. What is this feature? What are the benefit they're going to get? Take that sentence out. And it's tough. It's difficult. Even I've had challenges at it initially when I started learning these concepts. The benefit statement to write it is tougher than you think. It's tough. And it may seem like 3-4 words, five words, but it's difficult. And you have to pay a huge attention to this sentence. People only go into मेरा program में ये मिलेगा आपको. अरे ये मिलेगा ये लेकिन फायदा क्या होगा? मिलेगा ठीक है लेकिन फायदा क्या होगा? I'm repeating myself again and again and again on this point, but I can't, no matter how much I stress upon this. With one-on-one calls with my customers, I tell them, look, your email is missing the benefit statement. That benefit statement has to go to the subject, because if it is in the subject, the guy will open the mail to begin with. If they see a benefit to them, acha khol ke dekho, let's open and see what is the benefit, right? So this is the most important benefit statement. Offer something of value, highlight the benefit or benefits. Ideally stick to not more than 3, but or if it's 3, then you have 3 email campaigns. If you ask me, there are 3 benefits. But yeah, benefit like how much money they will make as a result of it, how much money they will save, because people are afraid of losing of it. You will save 25% every year on so much expenses if you use my solution. So how much they will make, how much they will save, you know, how many more customers they can add, whatever, right? Even efficiency and productivity will increase as a result. It will help them to do much more, right? Okay, I think I'm going to move on to the next slide. Okay, so we, by the way, have an email application that I want to talk about. It's called bulkmailerapp.com. Try it out. We've developed this based on all these points which we've spoken about, and we found that we were looking for other solutions that are out there, but we wanted something that is cost effective, that meets our price point, because our customers are not super wealthy, rich. They have a tight budget. So we have a free, you can try it out for free before you actually buy it. So go ahead, take a look at bulkmailerapp.com, just click on free sign up. And we have videos to help you out to use the system and how to create your campaign and send it out. And we are always available on email. We have a help desk portal that you can contact us. Give it a shot and see if this is something you'd like to use for your own emailing if you want. Okay, let me take a few questions before I go on to the next part of the presentation. Any questions on email marketing at this point? And I'll wait for maybe a few seconds and have a sip of water.
Are you going to talk about SMS and other mode of marketing other than email?
So SMS and WhatsApp I'll be talking about next, right after this one.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a common question for all the modes of communication. From the compliance point of view, this opt-in, opt-out is mandatory for all the modes of communication.
I recommend it strongly. And in for example, with GDPR and all, in Europe, it is mandatory. It is by law mandatory.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay. But in India, it is yet to get materialized in terms of compliance point of view, that I need to have your opt-in before I send in any SMS or WhatsApp message.
So it is recommended. I am recommending it. Forget about the legal. Forget about the legal gun on your head. Okay. Why do you want to see? Let's understand something. When I go to Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and I see an ad while I'm scrolling, Everybody's on their phones today and they're doing like this, right? They're just constantly swiping. And when they're swiping and they see an ad,
Yeah.
it is the terms and conditions say so. They
Okay.
you signed up on LinkedIn and Facebook and Insta and wherever else because they said we will throw a freaking advertisement in front of you after some time. After 2 posts, one ad will come. And as
Okay.
part of the terms and conditions they made, and only then you are signing up, right? You have to click on I agree.
Correct. 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 Correct.
Email is a open-ended system, yeah. I mean, where did you sign up to say give me this information? Correct.
Yeah.
So email and WhatsApp, you should only connect with them. You can connect with them. The email and phone numbers are. I can call you if I have your number, and I can send you an email if I have your email address. And that's the point, right? You have an
Yeah.
email so that people can reach out to you. But
Yeah.
if you want to connect with me by email on a regular basis, number one, am I even interested? Am I your target group? Am I going to be interested? Am I going to see some value in your product? If I have, let's say, a bulk email solution, okay, and in my email database I have a 16-year-old kid, or let's say a housewife that doesn't work. She's working
Correct.
at home, and her work is her house, managing the kids, their school, their kitchen. What am I going to? What is that email which I'm using for connecting with my friends? Why the hell I need to know about some email marketing solution which I'm not going to use? My goal is to promote my email marketing solution to those people who are interested in doing bulk email.
Correct.
It is not mandatory in India yet that you have to do the opt-in, opt-out, but I strongly recommend it. I strongly recommend it for your benefit, for your credibility, for your for you to have a good standing in the market as a person that doesn't spam the shit out of people. So
Okay.
it is my recommendation. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But
Anyway, we don't use email much. We use consume SMS a lot because of in ice cream business. I'm from Have More Ice Cream. We do consume a lot of SMSs.
yes, yes. So yeah, so great. That is SMS also the same thing. I've actually stopped checking SMSs because the only time I check SMSs is to see OTP क्या है, payment करना है. और nowadays many websites they want to make sure that that's the right mobile number, so they send the OTP. I go to Swiggy, I put in my number, OTP डालो. Okay, ठीक है, log in करो. I want to order something. I don't check SMS. I don't check SMS at all. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So Kishore and for the rest of you, I've put the link of the application for you guys to do a free sign up if you like. If there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and move on to the next one, which is WhatsApp bulk messaging. Yeah.
This software of yours,
Yeah.
does it give a mail from the the company mail domain only? It will give the mail, or how's it like?
Yeah, you can use your email address, which is like I have an email address. I'll type it in. This is
Whatever it is at the domain.
Yeah, my domain is, although it is a Gmail account, it's a Google. It is Rishi at WebDudes is my domain, right? So even though I'm using Bulk Mailer app, my emails go out as Rishi at WebDudes.
But is it the right way of doing things? Because most of these mail servers, they do a reverse check on IP also.
Yes.
So what is the coverage? Like, what would be the coverage of this? If you send mails.
Yes, sure. Very, very good question. So when you send an email, okay, let me in fact share my screen. So there are multiple ways to do this. I'll show you how some of them manage it. So, for example, you guys can see my screen?
Yeah.
So there is, to make sure that your emails are not marked as spam, there's this thing called SPF. Can you see this line over here? I'm going to just zoom in a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you see this line over here in green color?
Correct.
Okay, so there is a DNS. Every domain name has their own DNS system. Okay, so like for example, when you register a domain name on and you have your website on some XYZ server, but like in my case, I want to use my webdudes through another mail server. So for example, I'll just go to a website. This is another website we've created just to check records of DNSs. So I'm going to put webdudes here, and I'm going to check the TXT record. Let's see the SPF record come back. So, for example, you can see for WebDude, I've included Google because I use Google for email. Plus, I use MailJet. Plus, I use Zoho Invoice. Plus, I use Elastic Email, like that.
Okay.
So, if you include you authorize the following mail servers
Okay.
to send email, then it won't get blacklisted in the spam.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah? So you must use whatever email system that you're using, include them and authorize them, because this anyway belongs to you.
Yeah. Correct.
Webdudes your domain name belongs to you, correct?
Yeah. Correct.
You can always use this check DNS software and check it, right? Okay, I'm just going to put in the chat for you here. You guys can check your own. Just select TXT and check if the include statement is of your bulk mail application or not. So once you do that, you should be good. Many times that's the problem. They don't. If you don't put this SPF record, it happens. Now, of course, in other scenarios where there's let's say Mailchimp and Amazon SES, the way they've configured it is that they are using their server to send the mail. So they rewrite the from address, which will be Rishi webdudes.in at Amazon SES or whatever, Amazon AWS.com. And then it goes out. So it's still AWS is sending the mail, not Rishi. But the from address, when it finally reaches the person and they reply to it, it will come to Rishi at Webdudes, not Amazon. So they rewrite the header. And so the email is getting sent from that. So there, in the case of Amazon SES, SPF records are not been required because it's not going out from webdudes.in. It's going as Amazon mail, but the reply comes to me. So that's another way of solving this problem of mails ending up in the spam folder and not in the inbox because the system is doing this back-end checking.
Great.
Okay, good question. Any others? Okay, I'm going to just switch to presentation again and I'll continue with my slides. And if you have your questions, you can also just text it in the chat box later and I'll reply to it after this. All right. So now we're going to talk about WhatsApp versus, presentation. Can you guys see my screen, WhatsApp versus SMS? Anybody?
Yes.
Fabulous, great. So let's take a look at the benefits of sending messages on WhatsApp versus SMS. These are some stats I pulled out from a few years back. This is only up to 2015, so I haven't got the latest stats as yet. But there is a decline in SMS, after 2010. Okay, and if you see when WhatsApp came in, the number of this is by the way, this is in billions. Okay, so 20 billion, 25 billion SMS, 30 billion. So WhatsApp has shot up after that, and a lot of people use WhatsApp to send messages. So people are reading messages on WhatsApp, and we'll go into the reasons why and what's the benefit and what to be aware of and careful about. Okay, so why is WhatsApp better than SMS, for example? Okay, first of all, you have the admin groups. So you can invite people to join your groups versus, and you don't have this admin group feature in SMS. You have to send one message at a time, and then you just put them in a list and you keep sending them. Yahan pe people can opt out also, right? It's cheaper. You don't have to pay per message. You can just send them a message in your group, and this is way better. People, when they receive WhatsApp messages, they reply faster. Okay, they don't take their own sweet time to reply. They are happy to reply fast. So this is another benefit. SMS, as I said, I look at some SMS and then I see it after 1 week or something. This usually happens the same day or within an hour or so. You can do various audio, you can do video, you can do images, all kinds of media you can do with WhatsApp, with SMS. It's just the links you can send, and although everybody has a smartphone, fine, they have to go to the link and then they can see what it is that you can. Here you can embed the video itself and send it out, right? So it's a far richer media compared to SMS. So let's go into the best practices again. I would always say invite a person to your group. Do not add them to the group if you want to send them. I run multiple groups. Okay, sometimes on the same topic, because one group is limited to 255 or whatever. I have multiple groups. I don't send this broadcast list. I don't do, because the problem with the broadcast list is, again, they cannot opt out of a broadcast list. In admin groups, they can always say exit group and they will stop receiving your messages, right? And you send them an invitation again, they can again join if they want. So I think these are great features to have on WhatsApp, right? And again, we can also personalize WhatsApp messages, which we will be talking about in the demo, which I'll show you. Okay, this is a short slides. Any questions on this before we can do the demo? Okay, if there are no questions, then Chintan bhai, I will need your help.
Yes.
And pause the recording so I can just share my screen again.
Yeah, so we will formally end today's webinar here.
Okay.